It's one big step for Disney, but does this mean Comcast is out of the bag? You'll have to watch the video to find out. Alright, hey guys, Bobby here. Decided to do my second tape because I was doing a lot of pauses and I was getting really nervous, so I decided to try this again. In case you guys are wondering, I'm still at the doing this on a different side of my bedroom rather than just using the geek wall I used to use. I just raised the camera up a little since I was cleaning my room and I had to move my tripod. And also just to show you guys more of what's behind me. But anyway, not the point of the video. So Disney's bid to try to buy 21st Century Fox's film and TV production assets has actually taken a really giant step, and that is that the Department of Justice has given Disney antitrust approval to move on with their bid. Now, this does not mean that Disney is going to buy Fox. That still has to be approved by a federal judge and Fox's shareholders. But it's a definite step in that Disney doesn't take in too much of the competition here. And by that, I mean they're letting, like, the Department of Justice is letting Disney move forward, but they cannot purchase Fox's sports television assets. And that is because I think you could figure Disney already owns ESPN and ABC, so if they took on if they took over Fox Sports, it would basically become too much and it would be kind of anti-competitive. In fact, I actually have a quote here from Assistant Attorney General Makandel Rahim. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, please let me know in the comments. I'll put his name in the video. And he's from the Justice Department's Antitrust Division, and he said, quote, American consumers have benefited from head-to-head competition between Disney and Fox's cable sports programming that ultimately has prevented cable subscription prices from rising even higher. Today's settlement will ensure that sports programming competition is preserved in the local markets where Disney and Fox compete for cable and satellite distribution. Now, in case you're wondering, how is Comcast doing? Are they going to try again? There's no official word from Comcast ever since Disney announced, hey, we're going to put up $71 billion compared to Comcast's $65 billion. But the Wall Street Journal reported Wednesday that Comcast is exploring partnerships with other companies and private equity partners in case it needs more cash, which pretty sure they're going to need more cash. I believe that's one of the reasons why Fox actually came out and said, yep, we like Disney's bid so far. And part of it was because Disney has put up a lot more money. So I think that's what's going on, especially since Comcast is not going to want to. They definitely have a lot of money, but they're not going to want to sell their entire company just to get Fox's assets. So we'll have to wait and see. Nothing is set in stone. Disney has not bought Fox yet. I still think at the end of the day, Disney has a really solid shot with how much prestige they have and how much money they have. But we all will have to wait until things really do become final. And like I said in my previous video on this matter, I'm very neutral in terms of I'm pretty sure Disney's going to end up getting the rights. Not that I want Disney to, especially given with how I think nowadays, even though they pretty much let Marvel and Lucasfilm and Pixar, or so they say, operate independently, they still feel like you could tell, oh, they're still trying to fit Disney's image of forcing down. And I don't hate this idea. I just don't like it being super, super forced. Nowadays, they're taking a lot more risks in terms of the kinds of humor, action, and types of content with Disney XD than they are with their movies. But the movies are still good, don't get me wrong. I just did that live review with Stephen and Gabby of The Incredibles and Incredibles 2, and I really liked it. But it just kind of feels like Disney is playing it safe when it comes to the movies because they don't want to put something out there that they worry he will not make a lot of money because it hasn't been tried out. So that's personally how I feel, and that's why I consider myself, like I said, very neutral. But my main point of concern with the Fox bid that I'll talk about in this video is what will happen to Fox's adult oriented films or films that don't really belong to a franchise but they still have an audience, because you got to keep in mind that Fox not only owns the movie rights to Marvel franchises like X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool, but they're also the company that owns both classic and more recent movies like The Sound of Music, both versions of The Fly, Edward Scissorhands, Don Bluth's Anastasia, and they also own Fox Searchlight, which has made four of the Best Picture Oscar-winning movies in the last 10 years. We're talking about movies like Slumdog Millionaire, 12 Years a Slave, Birdman, and The Shape of Water. So my concern there is what will become of that. Is Fox just going to stop making them? Or in this case, because Disney becomes the owner, is Disney just going to have Fox stop making them so they can get their hands on the franchises they want? More likely things like the X-Men and Fantastic Four, so they could put them in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, I did run across a story that said that Disney would be using Fox's currently existing movies for the streaming service, so it does show that they do have a place. But what I was hoping was that Disney would use the 20th Century Fox and Fox Searchlight brands to continue making movies that don't really fit the Disney Animation, Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm side. You know, more films that are basically the kind that Touchstone used to make, and also Oscar winners. I mean, whether you hate the Oscars or not, okay, I don't really like to rely on the Oscars these days. They still bring a lot of buzz, whether your movie gets nominated or especially if it wins. So I would have to think that Disney would want that, although some may speculate that, well, Disney doesn't really need that because they want the franchises that make money, not just get good press. So, but I still think that, even though Fox Searchlight is more involved on the financial side, and that their movies are more helmed by the acclaimed directors that make them, you know, like Danny Boyle with Slumdog Millionaire and Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu for Birdman. If there's people behind the scenes at Fox Searchlight that helped, and keep in mind when those movies do win Oscars, the directors do thank them on stage. Like I remember when Slumdog Millionaire, when Danny Boyle won the Oscar for that, he actually said thank you to Fox Searchlight out loud. So just really hope that Disney knows that they potentially got something really good here. And also to clarify, because I did have a commenter on my last Disney, Fox, and Comcast video, and I'm pretty sure I get where you're coming from, so don't attack this person. But this person was basically saying that I should not worry, because I said in my last video that Disney may not keep Deadpool, and the person basically said that Disney sees the potential in Deadpool and they're not going to make him Disney princess friendly. And my concern is not that, because I know Disney with their movies, they do also reach out to different demographics, not just the princess crowd. Like I said, I just saw Incredibles 2, but they also, you know, make movies that can also target an older audience, you know, like the Star Wars franchises, and also their live action remakes, which aren't always, you know, princess movies. And there's even, like, for example, the Christopher Robin live action film that's coming out. So my concern is not that. And even then, I enjoy those movies. Like, I like the Beauty and the Beast live action. I thought Coco was amazing. I thought The Incredibles 2 was great. Frozen, I don't give a fuck that people think Frozen's overhyped. I still think it's a great movie. So I'm not concerned about that. I'm just saying that I think Disney needs to take a lot more chances creatively if they get their hands on 20th Century Fox's franchises. Because, you know, me personally, and I know you guys out there too, we don't go see like dark movies or R-rated movies just for the sake of, oh, it's dark, or oh, it's mature, it's adult topics. It's a matter of it dives into topics that we start learning about, you know, as we grow up, or we're fascinated in, that aren't always family friendly. Sometimes they're more personal, or they're even more or toxic, if you will. Like, for example, David Cronenberg's The Fly. I don't just like that movie because it's gross. I think it's very creative in how, even though, yes, Jeff Goldblum's character, Seth Brundle, he's losing body parts, like he loses his ears, his teeth, his hair. The way I see it, and the way I know a lot of people say, it's basically like an insect version of the aging process, like the idea of losing hair and teeth. There's even a scene where Brundle is like walking on a couple canes. I'm talking about creativity like that, and you can't possibly do that under the way Disney usually does it. It's way too gruesome, but it's still creative, and it's still basically a classic. Or movies like 12 Years a Slave, which I haven't seen, but I trust what I've heard from critics and even my friends, in that it's a much more realistic depiction of slavery, and that you get a sense that it's a very, very hostile, very cruel environment, like in a sort of realistic sense that you couldn't get from a sugar-coated description of slavery. So there's honestly a lot of creative potential, and I hope Disney see that. It's not that I'm a 22-year-old dude and I want to get my fill of darkness and violence just for the sake of it. I just want to see directors make some really creative movies and push beyond boundaries. And especially since Disney would be able to use the 20th Century Fox name without having to put their own logo in front of it, I think that it would be a great opportunity. Will Disney do this? I don't really know. But anyway, please tell me your thoughts. I enjoyed reading your guys' comments from last time. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you want Disney to buy Fox? Do you want Comcast to buy Fox? Is there a way, if you want Comcast to buy Fox, is there a way that Comcast could outbid Disney? Please let me know in the comments below. And if you have any ideas for movie-related stories, my email is in the description. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later. Hey guys, this has been a Blood Moon Bobby video. Please like this video or dislike it, and please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.